Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you guys are well, wherever it is that you may be around the world. And we are here to preview the match between RB Salzburg and Chelsea. We're also going to open up the lines, but we're going to start talking about the breaking news yesterday in around the technical director involved at Chelsea, which we'll be getting into first. More comments on that to go through. We're going to talk about our preferred team lines up. So we're going to go through Graham Potter's conversations or on press conference in terms of teams, the teams that are the potential team lineup and people that are injured and stuff. We're going to get into all of that, everything today. And we're going to try and do about 30 to 40 minutes of me going through stuff. And then we're going to open up the lines and we're going to give a good hour or so to give you guys the chance to have your say on today's game. Today's game is a 5:45 PM kickoff for Chelsea, an early kickoff. So we're about 3 hours and 15 minutes away from kickoff over there as well. Game that Chelsea are going to want to win. Strong team, I think, will be something that we will look to do in this game as well. But I need you guys to make sure that you're smashing the likes, guys. Over 50 of you guys here already. Big up to every single one of you. A little bit of news for you guys as well. On Thursday, we have Ben Jacobs joining the show. Ben Jacobs is coming on the show to talk about Nkunku in January. He's going to be talking about the recruitment, the people that Chelsea have recruited themselves. And we're also going to be talking about sporting directors with Ben Jacobs on Thursday at 1 o'clock here. So make sure that you guys are around if you are 1 p.m. Thursday for that show with Ben Jacobs, which will be happening as well. But like I said, today we're here to discuss the big game today. Chelsea could really solidify first position with a win against a Salzburg team who are pretty decent. Let's not lie. They're not a bad team. And we're going to get into all that very, very soon. So make sure that you're smashing the likes. And before we move forward, let's cue the intro. Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV. Big up to every single one of you guys that are currently here at the moment. Please do me one big favour, though, on the way through the show. Please make sure that we're hitting them thumbs. The more we hit the thumbs, the more we get more likes, the more it gets spread across YouTube, the more we attract new viewers and they will subscribe. And that's what we want to try and aim to do as well, along with, obviously, our loyal viewers that are here at the moment. We'll be going through the chat to say hello to every single one of you guys, as always, as people slowly come into the show. Big up to Steve in the house. He says, Football Terry's Terry Fuller's channel, great channel to watch after games. Are you going to be on after the Chelsea game? I haven't been on in a while on Terry's chat, but I think I will potentially try and get myself back on over there. Big up to Big Ron in the house. He says, big up to Lewis. The stream with minerals and gems yesterday was mad. Love the passion from all involved. Yeah, it was a good show, man. Some people thought we were arguing, but we weren't actually arguing. We were just having a debate, And obviously Lewis and Johnny were having a heated debate about Havertz, which is quite funny, actually. You had one side, Lewis, not slandering him, but just not happy with him. On the other side, you had Johnny, who feels that, he should have more time, that he's done enough here, and, we should give him a bit more time to kick on and stuff, which is fair enough. But yeah, it was a good stream. Big up to Arctic, nice to see you. Rashad, nice to see you as well. Charles in the house, big up to her as well. Nice to see you around. It was your birthday the other week, so happy birthday to you on that as well. Ashwag, nice to see you. Says Chelsea will win. Stream Elements is here with a bot running. Big up to you, man. Big up to Liam Lane as well. Nice to see you. Surfs, nice to see you. Leslie, nice to see you. Who else we've got here? Tralala, it says carefree wherever you will be. We're the famous CFC. Up the Chelsea, people. I'm really worried about the Ronaldo saga because I really think there's a fabulous future for Broa. And this will massively ruin his development and chance to prove himself in this rebuild. We're going to find out about Ronaldo. I don't think it happens, personally. I don't think it happens. I don't think Potter... If Potter says yes, then that just tells me he's a yes man, because it doesn't make sense bringing Ronaldo in if we're being linked to Nkunku, right? If we're getting Nkunku, why would we get Ronaldo? That makes no sense to me. Joey makes no sense. Big up to Shuban. Nice to see you. This is from Mauritius as well. Big up to you out over there as well. Kuku will join the summer, not January. Yeah, well, we're going to talk about him potentially maybe signing for Chelsea in January for a move in the summer. Potentially. We'll see. Big up to George. What time is the game? The game is at 5:45 today, UK time. Catman, nice to see you as well. Who else have we got? Arja, nice to see you, man. Long time no see. Nice to see you. Orients, nice to see you as well. This team is weak. We can't even win at Salzburg. Well, hang on, Orients. Slow down, bro. We haven't lost yet. Relax. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Alfred's in the house. Big up to him. Nice to see him around. He says, let's get a win and move in from that Red Devil fluke crap. Is what he's saying there. Conan's in the house as well. Steve says, I know Salzburg won their league 9th time in a row, and I still think Chelsea will win. I will go over 1-0 win. He feels confident going into this game. Make sure, guys, obviously, like I said, that we check out Harry as well, who's doing the watch along for the show, for the game, sorry, at 5. I think it's at 5:45 he's doing it. I think it is, or maybe just before. So make sure that you guys go and check out the watch along on Chelsea Fan TV after and show some support there. But big up to him as well. I want Dembele is what JCP World is saying. I think that's well and truly gone. Boney may force a move for Ronaldo. He may do, but then again, he's got to sign it off. You know, he's got to sign it off for. He's got to sign it off for. With Graham Potter, which is the thing, right? Good afternoon to CCEU as well. Big up to CFC Pez Lord as well. Potter hasn't had a full week of training. Be patient. We'll win tonight. Big win tonight if it happens as well. You know, you can't go on the back of beating Milan back to back, going from bottom, now reaching the top to then not beat Salzburg. You know, we have to finish top of the pile as well. Yeah, 3:15 is about 45 minutes, but I knew you meant 5 because at the time. But yeah, big up. So 5:15 is a watch along, yeah? So make sure you all go over there after as well. Big up to Gets Footy as well. Emmanuel, nice to see you as well, man. Nice to see you. Leo, big up to you, man. Hey, Jim, can you talk about the position on Nkunku will play if we do sign him? Very hard to talk about now because obviously he's not a Chelsea player, but, you know, Ben Jacobs is coming on here on Thursday, 1 o'clock Thursday. Try and learn a bit more about where Chelsea are with Nkunku. Obviously, it's looking like it potentially could happen at Chelsea. Obviously, negotiations between both clubs still need to happen. Fees need to be agreed between the clubs as well, from what I understand. So, in terms of Nkunku and how he fits Chelsea, he plays up front for me. But he actually also gives you the option to utilize him as a winger as well. He can play as an inside forward and play up front. It gives you versatility that I think will benefit from, right? We will benefit from. So with Nkunku, it's just going to be close to see and good to watch how he performs this season at Leipzig. But like I said, don't want to talk too much about him yet because Thursday we'll get into more about Nkunku potentially to Chelsea with Ben Jacobs coming over here. What do you predict the score will be? Well, we're going to do that a bit later on. We'll do that a bit later on in the show. We have to win or else we're cooked, is what we've got here. Well, you know, we said the same thing about Milan and home and away. And look at the performances there. We've got one more game, then we have to win that one if we lose. Well, if we win today's game, what it then allows us to do is kind of rotate more for the Zagreb game, right? So this is why I think that it's more priority today to get the result than it is, obviously than it is not. What do you think of giving Ziyech a run? Well, I'm quite past it, Miv Kelly, to be honest. I'm not really a huge fan of Ziyech. Haven't been for a while. I do think I don't think he suits Chelsea. That is literally it. Does he get a run? Maybe play him into some sort of market value, a couple of games throughout the season, yes. But I think he wants to leave. I think his mind is set to leave this football club as well. So, you know, it's hard to want to give a player opportunities that don't really want to be here. Big test tonight. Looking forward to seeing how he does as well. Keep an eye out on Nkunku. Keep an eye out on him. I am looking forward to Chelsea's game tonight. My team got Napoli tomorrow. Be hard. I hope we get draw and Liverpool beat Ajax. We beat Ajax to get Europa, but Liverpool played poor in the last game, is what Steve's saying. All right, so let's get into the stuff that I want to get into. Obviously, we're going to talk about Salzburg, Chelsea in about 15, 20 minutes time. But I want to talk about the breaking news yesterday that we haven't been able to speak about because it was a late evening David Ornstein dagger that come out of nowhere. And Chelsea are still busy behind closed doors. Chelsea are still busy organising the hierarchy, organising the board. Obviously, let me just have some more 2 seconds. Obviously, there's a set pattern in terms of how Chelsea want to look in the long run. They have an idea of where they want to go. There's probably a philosophy in place, and you can kind of see it from the specific profile of recruitments that they're sort of bringing in. And when obviously Lawrence Stewart was mentioned yesterday by David Ornstein last night, obviously technical director at AS Monaco, coming over to Chelsea. Agreement between the clubs with the Englishman is on a 2 years after working for Red Bull Group, RB Leipzig, Everton, Man City, and England. You can kind of get a riff without knowing about the guy too much of why we've gone for this. You look at the clubs that he's obviously worked with. We already know that Bowley loves the whole Red Bull model. Yeah, he loves the whole Red Bull model, the way they've been doing things as well. And that was obviously when we were trying to get their sporting director, which didn't pay off at the time. So, we go for Reed, who's obviously worked with Man City before and is now part of Chelsea. We now go and get a technical director in Lawrence Stewart. And the thing with Lawrence Stewart, because I didn't know much about him, so I done a little bit of digging last night to try and really understand who is Lawrence Stewart. What is he and who is he? Well, I found this article, and I don't know if I'll be able to find the link for it again. Let me see if I can find the link for you guys to have a look later on. I think I got it here, yeah. But let me open it here. Yeah, there we go. So there's like a little podcast video thing on the internet, and I'll put it in the chat for you guys. And it's just about Lawrence Stewart's recruitment ideas as of working for Monaco, Bruegel, with his previous experiences. When you look at the type of recruiter he is, energetic, looking for sort of not the biggest profile, but finding players that are flexible, that are able to adapt. And the biggest thing about all of this with Lawrence Stewart is that he was the right-hand man of Paul Mitchell. Paul Mitchell, we already know, is the sporting director at Monaco. Now, we already know that Paul Mitchell is still is one of the names that's been linked as a sporting director to Chelsea. We know Michael Edwards is in there. We know that there's various other people that have been linked to the job for sporting director. We've also been told that Todd Bowley in January will be the interim sporting director, which means that they're going to take a little bit more time to make the decision on who it is that they're going to bring across. What I would say is when you do get the chance at some point, go and have a look at this. Yeah, go and sit down, read the article, learn about the type of recruiter that we're bringing to this football club. And you can kind of get a little idea of where we're trying to go with this, what we're trying to do, what the philosophy or the idea will be. The biggest question mark with it all still is the sporting director. Who will Chelsea announce as the sporting director of this football club? Now, we're going to learn more about that from Ben Jacobs on Thursday. We've got him coming on the show at 1 p.m. on Thursday. And we're going to be talking more deep on the recruitment at Chelsea, the specific types of people that have already brought in. So already we're going to talk about Lawrence Stewart. We're going to talk about Joe Shields. We're going to talk about who's going to be the next sporting director. Who does Ben Jacobs think will be the next sporting director at Chelsea? And then we're going to discuss it, and we're going to try and understand why it suits Chelsea. Because remember, what we're doing in the background is so important. And I know for a lot of us, it doesn't really mean much because we don't really understand how it all operates or what it works. But having the foundations in the hierarchy and in the board will help this club become more successful in the long run. Give us an idea of the project, of what we want to do moving forward, and how we're going to attack the market, the type of recruitment of players that we're going to be scouting across Europe. These are all real massive things that we are going to see, not now, but we will see very soon at Chelsea. And I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it. So we had this breaking news from David Ornstein. Guys, there's over 150 of you here. Big up to every single one of you guys. We are going to talk Salzburg and Chelsea very shortly. We're going to open the lines as well. But I need you guys to make sure you're smashing the likes. I know we haven't got enough likes at the moment. So please hit the thumbs now. If you haven't hit the thumb already, please do. Please subscribe to the show as well. Let's get these likes up, guys. Let's get these likes up. We also had this from Fabrizio Romano today. Fabrizio Romano coming out saying Chelsea's rebuilding continues. The Joe Shields appointment is 100% done and sealed. It will be official soon. The Monaco technical director, Lawrence Stewart, will also join the Chelsea recruitment team, as called by David Ornstein. Christian Vivell is talks in progress as well, which we already know as well. So why I feel with Christopher Vifel, if it was going to happen sooner rather than later, it would do, is that Todd Bowley wouldn't become the sporting interim in January. You'd think if we were going to get a sporting director, we were told we were going to try and sort this before the end of the year. You think they'll do it now. If we don't sort it by December, I don't think Christopher Vifel is a potential candidate. I think who we are probably maybe looking for is maybe someone that's taking a break, someone that's maybe going to be willing or ready to join the football club within the summer window, the new summer window. So once the season ends, they're obviously keeping their minds and the doors open. You know, they're putting the chess pieces together. You know, and they're gonna finish off with the big one, which is the sporting director. So you know, it's going to be interesting to see where Chelsea go with this. You know, really, really, really is the final piece of the puzzle. I wonder who that will be exactly. And we're going to try and see if we can work it out on Thursday with Ben Jacobs here as well. I hope Nkunku joins Vivell in January. We really need him. Nkunku update will be on Thursday with Ben Jacobs. We're going to try and see if we can learn more about Nkunku to Chelsea. Bowley Vivell will do the negotiations in January and prepare the summer recruitment team with advice for now. Well, Vivell hasn't been announced yet. But the fact that we've already seen comments from Ben Jacobs himself coming out saying that Todd Bowley may be the sporting director interim for now in January tells me that they're not rushing to make the decision. And if they were going to get Vivell now, they would just do it. By December, they would have him. And by January, we would have him, we'd have Shields, we would have Lawrence, we'd have the foundations set, ready to go. You know, so, well, we're going to talk about Edwards. We're going to talk about Edwards next. So there we go. There's that. And then we're going to switch over from Ornstein, from Fabrizio Romano, straight into Matt Law, who Matt Law again's come out with a little exclusive here as well. And he says, Chelsea set to raid Brighton again, this time for Paul Winstonley, who is set to join Vivell, Shields and Stewart on the new recruitment team, as hinted by the secret scout. So the secret scout's already hinted that now Winston, and I don't know who this guy is. So again, Winstonley is another guy that's being linked to Chelsea. Let's have a look at Paul Winstonley. Brighton. Let's have a look. So Paul Winstonley is the head of recruitment at Brighton, as what we understand right now. So let's go into Football London. Yeah, come on, this. So the news. So let's go to this real quickly. Let's fly through this. So again, interesting stuff. Who is Paul Winstonley? Well, we know he's the head of Brighton recruitment. Matt Law seems to think he's joining Paul Shields and Stuart Lawrence as well. So let's read it really quickly. So let's talk about this. The news coming from Potter's backroom staff move to West London. Oh, what happened there? What are you doing, mate? We already know that he's took a handful of people from Brighton. The 47-year-old manager is part of a long-term plan in place at the group. We already know that. John Shields, who is the head of recruitment at Southampton, is also expected to join Chelsea employee, whilst the search for a new sporting director also continues, according to reports. Winstonley is another who is set to join Chelsea's at the Blues resurgence. So who is Paul Winstonley is the question here. So Winstonley spent 9 years as a professional footballer at Man City between 1991 and 2000 before moving into the analytical work at Wigan Athletic in 2003. As a performance analyst manager, what is it something that Chelsea have always wanted to do in terms of choosing the specific profile player? They want to use sports analysis. They want to use data. Interesting. He helped the Latics achieve the promotion to the Premier League and make the 05-06 League Cup final before departing in 2008. Winstonley then made the switch to Derby County, where he spent 6 years as the head of analysis. Since 2014, he operated as both a talent identification manager and now the head of recruitment at Brighton. Winstonley's reputation has been greatly enhanced in recent seasons after Brighton made several top signings. So since Wheatley's been there, Basuma, now off to Tottenham, Trossard, Moises Caicedo have all been heralded as players that have been unlocked at Brighton. He will ultimately bring a wealth of experience. Now, look at it from the Bowley standpoint, from the Chelsea standpoint. why have Chelsea gone for this sort of identity of recruitment? Well, number one, that the biggest key thing for me here is the performance analyst manager, someone that's going to be using data, someone that I'm not 200% sure what an analyst manager is in that, but maybe someone that, like I said, pulls up the data, that does always, researches on the backgrounds of these players, understands how it suits the club that he's currently at in terms of their philosophy, where they want to go with things. And we already know that Chelsea want to use that sort of data analysis. Oh, big up to Johnny, I didn't know he was in the background. We already know that Chelsea want to use that sort of that performance data analysis kind of person. So we know that we've got Joe Shields, who's again does recruitment for Southampton. We've brought in Lawrence Stewart, who we know has worked very close with Paul Mitchell, and has a specific role in how he likes to bring in types of players in their styles and whatever, which I've already put the link in the chat for you guys already. And now we're being told that Paul Winstanley, who is the head of recruitment at Brighton, is also looking to follow Chelsea in. And when you look at his career so far and what he offers, he's an analyst manager. So that kind of makes sense in terms of Chelsea wanting to do all that data analysts. If you remember, Chelsea were going to use data. They were going to sit down to try and, rather than just go on the big names and based on what they've done in that season, they want to, they want to break down the player. They want to understand how they've played in the last, couple of years, how it fits the philosophy of this club and where they're at the moment and what the philosophy is of what we want, and whether it would suit them, whether it suit Potter, whether it suit, the whole model at Chelsea. So these are, and it sounds really weird, but these are like intricate people that are coming in and doing a specific thing for Chelsea, but differently. That's the way I see it, So Paul Winstanley, as announced by Matt Law, is looking to follow Chelsea. Into the board, and Johnny's with me as well. Johnny, what's happening?
How we doing, Geezer? You all right?
Yeah, I mean it's non-stop with the hierarchy. I was on your show when we spoke about Lawrence Stewart. Now we're being told today that Paul Winstanley, for the head of recruitment for Brighton, is looking to follow his way into Chelsea as well. An analyst manager over there as well. It's all full steam ahead, isn't it, at the moment behind there?
Well, let's have it right. The minerals are getting landed behind the scenes. It's about time, and it's about time that Potter and a manager generally gets the longevity and time, because I think we spoke yesterday, Jose Mourinho is the only manager under the Roman era that's had at most 2.5 years. We haven't had a manager last more than 2.5 years, and that at the end of the day, how do you sustain your success and blueprint if you're going to keep changing managers? You know what I mean? We need a gaffer in there for a long period of time. I wanted it to be Tuchel. Everyone knows that. But it's Potter. I back Potter all the way. I think he's got minerals. I think he's got a fantastic blueprint. He's bringing his team. He's brought his team with him. And now we're bringing these individuals behind the scenes who will be able to bring to fruition the blueprint that we want, that we crave under Potter. Yeah. And then you will sustain success. But it's all about time. You see, if we don't make top 4, for example, all the little Twitter virgins, all the fan base, as fickle as they are, they're literally gonna just have a meltdown. That's the problem. Big up everyone in the chat. Listen, let's have a like and subscribe and all that jazz.
We've got over 200 people here at the moment, so big up to everyone that's here. Over 200. Big up, man. Big up.
Yeah, like the video, like the stream, guys. Like the stream. Help Jem out. Do you know what I mean?
Big up, man. Big up. Yeah. So no, 100%. What you said there was spot on, Johnny. But the missing piece of the puzzle at the moment is the sporting director, and it seems like we're leaving it as the last piece of the puzzle to do. And people were mentioning, Todd Bowley's looking to be the interim sporting director for January, which means he's probably going to give himself more time to maybe assess that area. But there's talks about Michael Edwards coming to Chelsea and whatever else. But we've had from United Plug, who's quite a big United social page over there, saying that United are close to agreeing a deal with Michael Edwards and are willing to wait until next summer for him to join a head of recruitment team. So Man United and what they're doing there with obviously Ten Hag, a good project there as well. A little bit like Chelsea are doing in their own way, trying to build again and have that philosophy in play with certain personnel. But apparently they're keen on getting Edwards and close to agreeing that. So if Michael Edwards does go out the window and we still don't have a sporting director by, say, January, and we leave it to summer, it's going to be interesting to see who it may be. Paul Mitchell, we spoke about yesterday, didn't we, Johnny, in terms of could it be him? Because obviously he's connections to Lawrence Stewart. Obviously he's right-hand man at the place with Lawrence Stewart as well. But the interesting thing with all of the people that have come in, they all have a common link that I've noticed. They've either worked for Man City or they've worked for Red Bull. And we know Todd Bowley loves the Red Bull setup. And he kind of likes the philosophy of where Man City have been in the last sort of couple of years. Do you see what I mean? It's very weird.
What he likes with Red Bull is the branding and the monetary model of Red Bull, yeah. But when you look at Man City's about the blueprint model. They're two separate models, but he wants to combine them. He wants to integrate them, which is very clever, and it's a smart thing to do. But my thing is this: whether it's Edwards or not, the most important thing when you look at the technical director and the director of football, they're the centre of how Ashworth said from Brighton. They're the centre of the wheel, and they connect all the spokes together. They're that main focal point, which brings everything at the club together as one, and it links everything together. We haven't had that when we had Tuchel, yeah? We never had that. And it was unfair on Tuchel because Tuchel didn't have the stability behind the scenes to allow him to do what he does best, which is manage, coach, recommend players. It was more than that. The role was bigger for Tuchel, and to be fair to Tuchel, why should he have to do something like that? And at the same time, Bowley's got a vision, but his vision's not even been put into action with the recruitment of these people. So you have to see how the timing wasn't there for both of them. But at the end of the day, whether it's an Edwards or not, my thing is this: as long as everyone's got the same vision, everyone's on the same page, yeah, and they all want to land the minerals and win trophies and make Chelsea the most successful, continue Chelsea being the most successful club over the last 20 years, and making us the biggest club in world football to compete with the Real Madrids and Man Uniteds, if you like, and clubs with real history further than what our history is, yeah, on that scale, then you need to put in place the right personnel. And it looks like we're doing that piece by piece. And in a way, if we can get it done before next summer, so by the end of the season, that means that Potter will have everything there to recommend, to liaise with the recruitment director, the technical director, and then the sporting director, and then they'll liaise with Clearlake and Bowley, because Bowley will step down for football director. He won't need to take that role upon himself, because I don't think he's the right guy for that job. He's not experienced enough. You need someone with experience and know-how of the industry for years, not just being there 5 minutes. So he's done very well up to this point, in the sense of who he's recruited. But at the same time, in order for us to continue our rebuild and build in the right way, we need to get these people in place, mate.
Yeah, 100%. And we are going to start talking about the game, because obviously we're half hour in talking about recruitment. Thursday, we have got Ben Jacobs coming on Thursday. I am going to be talking more in detail in regards to the recruitment, the type of profile of people we've brought in, who could potentially be the sporting director. And he's also going to bring us an update on Nkunku as well, to Chelsea. So make sure that we're here on Thursday at 1 p.m. for Ben Jacobs as well, guys. But yeah, I think what we have to do is just wait and see. But you're right in what you're saying, and they obviously, what I like is they have a clear idea of what they want to do now, and it's still very early doors. They haven't left it sort of, it's not like we kept Marina and Czech and everyone for a season and then we done it a season later. They just acted quickly. And I kind of do like what they've done, even though it's kind of hindered us a little bit in terms of that summer window. But I think we can kind of understand, with obviously the sanctionings and all that. It's
another thing, Jem. Yeah. Another thing, I want to land these minerals, because my thing is this, right? Bowley's obsessed clearly with Ronaldo, yeah. But if you're going to go with this vision and this model, Ronaldo ain't part of that. He's not. He's in no way got no relation to that vision and that model and the way Potter plays. That is just a dog drooling over his dinner that he can't eat. Yeah, because Ronaldo is that player as a brand will make you the money. He's that brand, and Bowley is enticed by that brand. But that brand doesn't go hand in hand with what the team needs, and what the team's needs are. It should be priority, not what the brand's needs are, because the brand goes hand in hand with the team. If you create a team that has a brand of football, that sells itself. It doesn't. You don't need to bring in the Lukaku's, the
100%.
Ronaldos of this world, because
Yeah.
it doesn't
Yeah.
work like that. That was back in the day with Roman. He'd go and land minerals and slap down all that cash. Yeah, let's have it right. He slaps it down and he'd go and sign all these players, big players, money thrown all over the gaff. And it's like, yeah, Chelsea making a statement. We bought this is world-class international, blah, blah. But it doesn't mean that it fits the system. And that's why you change managers all the time, because Roman's model wasn't sustainable. It was falling to pieces. We just couldn't see it. All we relied upon was us winning. And the only way we'd win is by keep rotating managers, because the players, all these managers lose the dressing room, or they don't get what they want, so they fall out with Roman and the board. And it was the same old story. So if that's the model, that is the model. It don't change, because you're not changing anything behind the scenes. So this is the thing. Bowley needs to calm himself, yeah? I know he's excited about being part owner with Chelsea and that, and it's a fantastic journey that he's going to be on now. Yeah, it's very exciting because we're Chelsea. Yeah, but at the same time, you need to take away that billionaire money grabbing mentality for 1 second and understand that you're investing in Potter, and Potter has a blueprint, and his brand of football will be talked about worldwide. Just the football. And it doesn't mean you have to have Ronaldo's. You can go and get an Nkuku. You can go and get Zachariah or whatever his name is. You can go and buy these young players with potential, yeah? And that's why it's important that we invest in players like Kai Havertz, Mason Mount, Reece James, Trev Chalobah, the young future pedigree of our football club that have delivered at our football club and are the future of our football club. And they're not multi-million pound, apart from Havertz, they're not. You know, they've come from the academy, these players, but they are born and bred Chelsea. They are the DNA. They're part of our blueprint as a club. So we need to push that, and that brand in itself, mix it in with some very smart signings, will allow us to basically push forward in the right direction. Because United are they're at a similar stage at Chelsea. They've got Ten Hag, we got Potter. You know, they're both their first seasons in this new venture, a new job role, yeah, because one was at Ajax, one's at Brighton, different levels, different league, whatever. But they're both having to deal with similar things. They're both having to manage a squad, an inherited squad, get the best out of them, implement their blueprint the best they can with the players they got, and then try and get the players in that they need. And it's a very hard job, and it needs patience and time. And the thing is, this fan base ain't patient.
I know. Yeah. No, I agree. I think that the biggest thing that we aren't is patient. We are very reactionary. We want things now, and I kind of don't blame us a little bit, because we were sort of built like that under the Roman era. It was just very cutthroat a lot of the times, wasn't it? You know, and you know, as soon as the fans turned, the sort of board followed the rift, and they just dealt with it. You know, and I think we need to kind of move from that mindset, because getting rid of Tuchel so early, bringing in Potter now, I don't see that happening with him now. I do feel that Bowley does want him here for the long run. And when you look at the pieces of the puzzles in terms of the hierarchy that's being put in and their style of recruitments and what they bring, I think you link that with Potter as well. I think, you know, they're really trying to build I'm going to say the word. I actually think they're trying to build a dynasty. I think they're trying to do that.
Yeah. I agree, but at the same time, it's all about timing. And when I bring up timing, I bring it up in this sense of how you reshuffle the squad. Can you keep the squad happy enough, knowing that you're not going to keep these players for the next season, to achieve what you need to achieve? And that's where Tuchel didn't get backed, because there was no intention to back him from Bowley and everyone. Yeah, they weren't ever going to back Tuchel. In my opinion, they used his name to get the signings they got, and they come the end of the transfer window, they got rid of him. You either know or you don't know. You know whether you're going to keep that manager and back that manager or not. And Tuchel knew he wasn't getting backed, clearly. Yeah, he said no to Ronaldo 7 times. Now, all this brown envelope talk about Ronaldo, Bowley's in love with the brand and all this, and they're going to wait for Potter to give the sign-off. What's there to give a sign-off for? What happens when Potter says, no, I don't want Ronaldo? You're going to have to say, we don't buy Ronaldo then. But why couldn't you do that with Tuchel? Tuchel said, he will ruin my dressing room. He's too egotistical, blah, blah, blah. And look what's happening. They're exactly right now at Manchester United. Look at what is happening. Look at the fan base's conversations. It's all about Ronaldo and him refusing to go on for the last 5 minutes. It's all a Ronaldo show. We don't want that at Chelsea. So although he's a great marketing monster, like we got with Pulisic, it doesn't mean that they're the right players for our club, because they're not. And I agree. My point is, what I'm saying is it going to come to a point where Pulisic is the one player for me who either needs to deliver this season or he's got to be shipped out, knowing that he wanted to go in the summer? Because he's great off the pitch when it comes financially. We all know that, all right? On a global scale and in America, he brings in the money, and we know that. But it's not about that for Potter. So when Potter says, I haven't got any use for this player, they have to sell him. And until I see these moments, unless Pulisic performs, if he performs, he deserves to stay. But my gut feeling is I don't think he will, because he's not trusted. And
I get that. I agree with that. But at the same time, I do feel, from what we've seen up to this point, he deserves that chance. I think he should get that. As with someone like Hakim Ziyech, I think he wants to go, and that's clear. I don't think there is any, even when it gets to January, I think he will try and get out. I just think that's his idea. With Pulisic,
but Pulisic is in his 4th season, Geese.
Yeah, he is. But with Pulisic, I think he's looked at it as, right, Tuchel's not here, even if he didn't have a relationship with him, which I don't think he did. Potter's now in, new manager. Let's see if I can, kick on with this manager and be given the opportunities. And I think Potter's going to give him time and give him games. It's just if he takes them moments. But I want to go into the Salzburg and Chelsea game now. Big up to everyone here. Nearly 300 of people, everyone here combined. So big up to you guys. Make sure that we're smashing the likes, guys. Let's get these likes over 100 on both channels, please, if we can. And we are going to talk about the game now. I want to talk about, obviously, Salzburg and Chelsea, which is a 5:45 kickoff today. Where are Chelsea in the league at the moment? Well, played 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. We've got a good goal difference, +4, 7 points, 1 point ahead of Salzburg at the moment. Obviously, we know that Milan are playing Dinamo Zagreb later on as well, who are both stuck on 4 points at the moment. And you have to think to yourself, this is such an important game, and this is why I feel that we have to play a strong team. We can maybe after this game look to rest players or rotate at against Dinamo Zagreb, but to go away to Salzburg, who are looking to finish strong at the top of this league, I think we have to play a strong enough team going into this game. And we're going to talk about the team lineups very shortly, who we think is going to play, how we're going to set up as well. We'll get back into that very soon. But in terms of Graham Potter, and obviously what he said yesterday in his press conference, they were talking about injuries and obviously an update on Kalidou Koulibaly's injury. And he says it's not too serious, but this game was too soon for him. We're hoping to get him on grass either on Wednesday or Thursday, but he is not available for tomorrow. So not available for the game today, but there's a potential that he may be around for the next game. I think the next game might even still be a bit too much for him too early, but it's not as long as people thought it was going to be. I was being told 2 months with Koulibaly at some points by someone. Obviously, no, that ain't true. So Koulibaly will be on the grass very soon again. What else are we saying here? Other than that, I don't think there's... I don't really want to talk about some of these...
This is the thing with the injuries, people got to understand, the supporters need to understand. Or I say the fans, because the support is support. But my thing is this, Koulibaly, Kante, Reece James, Fofana, all out. Now, Potter is restricted at the back. He's got no rotation now. In my opinion, I think he's got to go back 4.
Yeah, we're going to do that in a bit. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to go through the squads in a second, actually, and then we'll start talking about...
But this is what Tuchel had last year. This is what he had. In fact,
Same
he
shit.
had it at the he had it at the start of this year in the midfield. He had no Kovacic, Kante after Spurs. So we all have to understand that there's a reason why we played the way we did under Tuchel, and there's a reason why the results went the way they were. And last year was the same thing, except in my opinion, it was even worse. We didn't even have Reece James or Chilwell for a huge number of games.
There's more numbers this year for Potter than there was for Tuchel last year. We didn't even have that. You know, we have the likes of like Conor Gallagher's, Cucurella's. You know, like we have more options. It's just that
whereas Tuchel had Soul.
Yeah, we had Sal, we got Sakaria. Do you know what I mean? Same shit at the moment. But right, so this is an interesting comment before we go into the team lineups. So obviously, someone asked him about Raheem Sterling only scoring once in his last 9 games, and you know, is he giving him what he expected? This is Graham Potter's response to Raheem Sterling. He says, "I think it's more a team thing. We have to try and do better as a team and try and improve our attacking play as a team. And if you do that, then individuals within the team function better, rather than go the other way and focus on individuals," which is what we do quite a lot. Havertz, Mount, Sterling. I always like to look at how the team plays and functions, and there is a lot of room for improvement in the area where area which will help everybody, including Raheem. So his way of looking at it is not just more the individual performances of how the forwards are playing. His thing of it's the whole team and the balance and what he wants to do. And if they ain't able to carry that out and the forwards are struggling from it, he's not really looking at it as, well, Sterling's only scored 1 goal in 9 games. It's more of a whole team letting it down rather than the player. That's what I think he's kind of saying.
And also, I think the midfield, the injuries in midfield, Kovacic isn't 100%. We know that. Kante's not available now, so he's a write-off. You've got the right-hand side of Reece James with Azpilicueta now. So you've got a different type of player, a player that doesn't offer the skill set of Reece James going forward, and not even defensively. But defensively, he can do a job, Asby. But going forward, he's nowhere near Reece. And then you've got Jorginho, Gallagher, Loftus-Cheek, an 80% fit Kovacic. This is a problem because in the midfield is where you win and lose games. And this is why I stress to everyone that everyone seems to come and blame at the attackers and pinpoint the attackers, but you have to question how quickly do those attackers get the ball from the midfield? How quick are the transitions from the midfield phase to the attacking phase? Because, in my opinion, right now, they're too slow. And
yeah,
because they're too slow, it affects your attacking positions. So where the attackers will be in position to be threatening, you have to track back because the midfield doesn't release the ball quick enough.
That's true, but
that happens from the wing backs as well on the right hand side, because we ain't got a Reece James who would do that. On Chilwell, he's hit and miss at the minute because he's had a bad injury and he's time to get back in. And Cucurella is a new player adapting to the team and the new way of playing under Potter with these players. So we've got all these issues that need to be sorted, but the problem is I don't think they can be sorted because the injuries we've got in key areas is hindering us even more. It's actually blocking us in that respect, because when we had Kovacic fit and available, properly fit before the injury, he got injured. Yeah, we were playing well in midfield, very quick. With Kova we can play quick. Him and Loftus-Cheek actually did a really good job. I can't remember, was it the AC Milan game? I think it was the AC Milan game. And we absolutely run them ragged 3-0. We were playing the ball quickly, and then you switch it with Jorginho. And it's like, if your transitions are not quick enough, and they have to be quick all the time. That's why when you look at Manchester City and you look at Rodri, Bernardo Silva, De Bruyne, every time that those players get that ball, they don't hold on to the ball too long.
They're creators. That's because they're creators.
And they're creators on top of that.
Yeah.
Kovacic, Jorginho, Kante can, but it's not his role. They don't score. They don't assist. They don't really give you that killer ball. And if they do, it's once every 20 odd games. Do you know what I mean? It's very inconsistent.
Well, Yeah, this goes on to my next thing before we do the team lineups, guys. Make sure we're smashing the likes. Over 300 of you guys here right now. Big up to every single one of you guys. But let's get these likes up. I know we ain't got enough likes. Come on. So everyone that's sitting there at the moment watching, thank you for being here. But please get them thumbs up as well, and please subscribe. So Chelsea database, big up to him. He's probably in the chat as well. He says the attacking sequence involvement, and what he's done is he's put Chelsea's top 10 so far in 22-23. So the way that this graph works is when you look at it is it gives you a breakdown of shots, which is the red bar, and then chances created, which is the purple bar, right? And you look at the chances created more than the shots because that's where the creativity comes from. But Mason Mount, who has played 795 minutes, so 6 or 7 or 8 minutes less than Raheem Sterling, has had 17 shots for Chelsea this season, but he's also created 11 chances for the team as well. So in terms of creativity, the graph says that so far Mason Mount with 11 created chances and 17 shots is probably, along with Raheem Sterling, our most balanced creator and shooter. So Raheem Sterling has 18 shots with 15 chances created. Mount has 11 with 11 chances created with 17 shots. And then it goes down to Kai Havertz, who hasn't played as many minutes as them. It's just reached the 700 minutes he's played, but he's had more shots on 15, which is near enough the same as Mount Sterling, but only created 3 chances this whole season for other players. And then it goes on, and you look at Jorginho, he's had created 4 chances with 3, not enough from a deep line midfielder. And then it goes on to the people like Cucurella, who's created 5 with 4 shots. Ruben created 5 with 8 shots. Kovacic created 8 with 6 shots. And Reece James, who we look at one of our main creators with 8 created chances to 6 shots as well. That graph there is the tally of players that have played the most minutes from top to bottom, and what it's showing us is where the creativity comes from. So basically, between Mount and Sterling so far, Johnny, they're our most biggest creators, and they're the ones they're the ones that take the most.
I know that. Well. I mean, if you want to go one ahead, key passes from the start of the season to now, Mason Mount's on 30 plus. Sterling's on about, I think he's on about 17. Reece James was on about 10 or 12. And then if you do it per 90, Mason Mount is on like 2.8. Raheem Sterling's on 1.8, and it goes like that. But the point is, Mason Mount is the key creator in this team. When Potter plays him in the 8-10 role, which we've seen against AC Milan back-to-back, and he absolutely destroyed AC Milan in 45 minutes, winning man of the match. Then we played Wolves, destroyed Wolves. Played Villa, destroyed Villa. And this is the problem. When you lose your Reece James, and then you lose a Koulibaly, and you lose these players, it affects the balance of the team. Because our squad, even our squad is better than Arsenal and Spurs, let's have it right, it's still not of that level to compete with Man City. And that's why we fall off. Because all the onus goes on to Mason Mount. All the onus goes on to Raheem Sterling.
I want to add more to that because I forgot the white bar. I didn't know the white bar was something as well. But the white bar, which is on the right, so you've got the red, which is shots, the purple, which is created chances. The white bar is build up to shot. Build up to shot. So I'm assuming transitions, yeah? Like moving the ball quick, I'm assuming. So Mason Mount's got 14, higher than Raheem Sterling, obviously with 6. Kai Havertz has 14, build up to shots. Jorginho has 24, build up to shots, obviously playing from deep. I don't know how that works. That's the only thing with that. It goes 24, Koulibaly 25, Cucurella 20, and then it works its way down with 15 for Loftus-Cheek, Kovacic on 12, James on 12. So build up to shot for me, is that I don't get what that is specifically. That's if I get the first two, but build up to shot is what the way we set up a chance, maybe how quickly we set up, how many times they're involved in the build up to the shot. I'm assuming maybe, but obviously Mason Mount's on 14 along with Kai Havertz, so they're both involved in the build up of play before we shoot. Along with Jorginho, who you could expect really, even though he gets a lot of the ball, he's obviously
Jorginho's the one that gets the most touches in
exactly,
the team.
the most touches. So I'm assuming that's based on touches, i.e., which leads to build up to shots, which would make sense if Jorginho's playing because he sees a lot of the ball. It's just what he does with the ball, Yeah. So there you go, guys. A little bit of it, an attacking sequence involvement breakdown from now this season, 22-23, from up to this point to give you guys an idea of what the players are contributing to in minutes and how they're done. But Mason Mount, as it stands, is top of that pile.
He's the fucking Minerals General of this football club, mate. Let's have it right. Stats don't lie. The eye tests don't lie. And you can say that he plays all the minutes. Do you know why he plays all the minutes? Because he's the fucking baller of this club where every gaffer has to play him. He has to. He's undroppable, mate. That's the point.
Everyone don't like it now. I know the money.
Yeah, of course they don't like it because they know they're all in the mud. That's why. They're all in the fucking mud.
Stats, you can't ignore. The one thing I would say to you guys is you can't ignore stats. You can't say that's pointless. Stats are as important as eye test. I think they're both as important.
It goes hand in hand. They both go hand in hand, mate.
Can't do that. Even though we've not been 100% great this season, we're still, it is still valid points. We spoke earlier, Johnny, and we was talking about how Chelsea are going to line up tonight. We kind of agree that it's probably going to be a back four, right? Not a three tonight. So are we going to see Mendy in goal, or is Kepa going to come in again, do you think?
No, I think Kepa plays.
All right, throw Kepa in. Is Cucurella playing?
I don't see why he would just throw Mendy in there in a big game like this. I think Kepa's on form. He let a goal in against Man United, but it was a fantastic header. And maybe if he was slightly positioned an inch to the right, he would have got it. Maybe, who knows? But at the end of the day, I think Kepa has to play, mate.
What about left back? Because we know Ben Chilwell played the full 90 against Man United. Cucurella got taken off. Do we think Cucurella may play tonight, just based on recovery for Chilwell as well? So I think it could happen. I think you can see him play.
The thing with Cucurella, when I've listened to him, he says his best position, his favoured position, and where he's played all the youth is left back.
Yeah, so we should be playing him there, shouldn't we? Really?
Yeah.
So I would play him tonight. I think you will see rotation to a degree, and I think rotation with Ben Chilwell and Cucurella is fine, in my opinion. The two in the middle has to be Silva and Chalobah. We have no choice, right?
Yeah, but they're the best. They're the best two centre backs.
Most consistent so far, by far.
Chalobah's the Minerals, mate. He's fucking. We know Silva's world class, generational. Yeah, he's a one in a lifetime defender. Yeah, we know that speaks for itself. But when you talk about Trev and what I love, this is the thing that fills me with the most excitement and joy. Is that Trev is learning off Silva. These are valuable games for Trev right now, because Trev is going to gain this experience and intelligence that you can't learn it. You can only learn it off goats, and now he's learning it off the goat. And this is a big thing for Trev. And let's have it right. His performances for me back to back have been absolutely clear of anyone. Clear.
I agree. And for me, he's been one of our most consistent, along with Silva at the back, and he deserves. We don't praise him enough. That's the problem here. I don't think people talk about Chalobah enough. The guy hasn't lost a game, 30 plus games in a Chelsea shirt with no losses. I love that. Do you know what I mean? Guys, make sure we're smashing the likes. Over 350 of you here combined. Big up to every single one of you guys that are here for the show as well. We are going to open up the lines shortly. We're just going to do lineup, score predictions, and I know Johnny's got to shoot, and then we'll open the lines and get you guys involved, let you have your say. I've gone for Azpilicueta as right back, Johnny, because I don't think, again, we have many other options there, do we, really?
It'd be Dave.
Yes, to be him. So who's your two in the middle? I think this, again, is quite straightforward, isn't it? Is it Ruben and Jorginho, again, because we don't have no options with Kovacic out, isn't it? So
is he definitely out, Kova?
Well, he's not said he's out, is he? But people are saying he's carrying a knee injury, so I don't know how he starts for me. I mean, I would start with Ruben and Kovacic. Personally, that's what I would do in this game if he was fit.
See, for me, Jorginho's the best when you're in the lead. When you're in the lead, you bring him on to control the game. We control the ball, keep possession. But when you're trying to go out and win the game, I think it goes hand in hand, because it's one of these games you're playing away. You want possession. Maybe Jorginho probably does play, but the thing for me is if you're playing a back four, you need fucking two midfielders next to Jorginho, mate. So you're going to have to play if you're going to put Mount in the front three, you're going to have to play Loftus-Cheek and a Gallagher or something like that.
This is what I'm going to do. I was going to say, if Kovacic is fit, let's just say, because he hasn't said he's not fit, so which tells me, does he play? I think Jorginho might be rested tonight if Kovacic is available, and I think he'll bring Jorginho on later. I think Loftus-Cheek and Kovacic. I think Mount plays in front of them here. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, and then your three that I think will be is Conor Gallagher. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think Pulisic will play tonight. And I think up front, I want Broha to play personally, but I think Havertz will start.
Where's Mount? In the middle.
I think Mount's like in the 8-10 role, like in the pockets with the
okay. Yeah. I wouldn't play. It's the thing. I wouldn't play Gallagher there.
Well, he's better in that role, though, isn't he? I think further up the pitch.
Yeah, but I don't.
And you play Mount there, and you play Gallagher.
Yeah, potentially, but
I want Broha to play. If it was me, I'd throw Broha in personally in this game, and play Pulisic, Broha, and have Mount and Gallagher. Imagine them four all together. They're both. I mean, Pulisic came, but Broha, Gallagher, and Mount work hard off the ball, intensity, shutting down, getting stuck in. I think you could see that. Sterling, I think, should be rested. I think Aubameyang should be rested, but probably could start up front, couldn't he? Really?
I think you got to play Kai.
You want Havertz?
Yeah. Because I think in this game away, you want someone who's going to really. I mean, I'm not saying Broder won't work. He will work hard off the ball, but I think Havertz is more experienced to work off the ball.
I forgot about Chucky. Carnes, maybe he can get in. Maybe no Gallagher. We take Gallagher out and put Carney in. Maybe. We see
for me, I think Gallagher plays if Jorginho plays, because I think Gallagher's work rate and ability to recover the ball is very well needed with Jorginho. But when you got Kova and Loftus,
he can't see an experimental lineup. That's declared saying he can't see them mucking around too much.
No, I don't think you put Chuck in there. It's too big
I actually think Mount sits there. I think he plays there. But then if you don't do this sort of formation and you go to a 4-2-2 and you throw Kovacic there and you have
You're not playing Sterling?
No.
Why?
I don't think he deserves to play. I think he should.
Why doesn't he deserve to play? He never scores against Man United.
He's been shit for the last 3 games.
Yeah, but I think you got to play him, man.
I think Pulisic deserves a chance, mate.
No, you can play Pulisic, Havertz, and Sterling up front.
What? And then Mount
Mount in the midfield with Loftus and Kova.
So you're saying go back to a 4-3-3 then?
Yeah, 4-3-3. Yeah.
And then you're saying like Mount, not like that. Actually, we want it like.
Well, Mount would be in that 8-10, but would help the midfield.
Yeah, so like a little bit further forward, and then you have Pulisic there
on the left, and Sterling or Pulisic. Pulisic can go on the right or the left. The same with Sterling, but I think Sterling's better on the left, personally.
That's a good enough team to beat them, isn't it? Really, come on with that. That should be good enough, personally. Even though we're not in great form at the moment, I just think if you don't play Havertz, then it's going to be Aubameyang. But I would love to see Broha. I really would. I really would like to see the boy have a go, but I don't think he's going to start him because it's a game we need to win. So I actually think Aubameyang might be asked to play in this game, and I think Havertz might come on later on.
I mean, what I'd love to see is Havertz and Mount in that 8-10 role.
Yeah, but then who plays up front? Aubameyang and Sterling.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Pulisic somehow getting.
Or you could play Pulisic and Aubameyang. Yeah. But my thing is, I want to see Kai in between the lines of the striker and the midfield.
I mean, Harry's saying we should really play Aubameyang over Havertz.
But Aubameyang hasn't scored since when did he score? So was it San Siro? He hasn't
Been a while.
scored for three. What we played Villa, he didn't score. We played United, he hasn't scored. So what's the difference?
I agree. I think Sterling and Aubameyang, if my opinion, I'd rest them two, and I would throw Pulisic on, I'd throw Burrow on, I'd throw Mount on, I'd throw Gallagher on, or maybe Sterling, or Havertz as well. I might even throw Havertz in, to be honest. That's what I would do. I'd rest him in the UCL. He's saying, yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Whatever we choose to do, the amount of ammunition we're going to have on the bench on the forward line, Havertz, Gallagher, Carney, Ziyech sitting there. We never talk about him. Do you know what I mean? Like there's options. All but scored in our last 2 UCL matches back to back. Maybe he suits that. Maybe Harry's got a point. Maybe he plays better.
Yeah, but that's because we were playing better then. We were playing better. Since Villa, we haven't really been playing that well as a team, balance wise. So that's that. Irrespective of whether you've scored in that competition or not, it's about what chances is Uber going to get.
I just think he should. I think he will play Aubameyang. I've just got this weird feeling, but I think it should be someone else. That's what I think. I think someone else should lead the line, and they should come off the bench in this one. I think we need I think we need energy, movement, quickness.
That's why I say Kai.
Yeah, but you could get that from Brower as well.
Not as I don't think. Yeah, off the ball, Havertz is more effective than Broha.
It will chase the ball. I mean, yeah, you say that. I mean, look at Brower, what he did with Ben Mee.
Broha's good, but what I'm saying is like when it comes to those moments, like we saw at Southampton, where he could have squared it to Mount in that situation, I think Havertz does that. He didn't because he hasn't had the enough game time to have that sharpness. I just think like in this game, it's too risky for me. I want the 3 points, at the very least a draw, because if we get a draw and then we go and win our last game, we qualify. Even if AC Milan win both their games, we win on head-to-head anyway. So it's like
we need to win this, mate. We do. Need
well, we should win it, but I think you are you telling me Broha and is better at hold up than Aubameyang and Havertz?
I think Broha,
because I don't think it is right now.
Yeah, but the thing is, the problem with me with the performance with Broha at Brentford was I just think there was too many changes. I think he still should have played, but I think he should have played at least around the stronger 11 because we made 6 or 7 changes in that game. Does that make sense?
I know, but in that game, his hold up was really poor. It was only good when he was on the shoulder of the last man. He's good.
I would like to see him played with Pulisic and Sterling and Mount behind. I'd like to just see how that works, just in terms of dribbling ability from both sides, and him being able to like being fed off them as well, Mount in behind, feeding these lot and supporting him and playing him in. Like I just don't know. I just think it could be different, something maybe that we've not seen, and I just think Broha should be given minutes. I don't think he starts tonight because we need to win this game, and I don't think Potter's going to risk playing Broha up front, which is fair enough. And I do think it'll still be Aubameyang. I just think he's going to start him, even though I wouldn't play him personally.
But has Uber played them? No, we played Brentford and then we played United, right? So he's alternated it, isn't he? He's alternated it. But the thing is, Potter's got he changes it so much recently, and I think how do you expect
That's like Tuchel, didn't it?
Make but Tuchel did it. I don't think Tuchel did it as much in certain games. He did, like against Leicester, Arsenal, and we lost those games because he made 8 changes against Arsenal. I remember that, and we lost that 1-0 because of Jorginho's mistake. If you remember, that was when the first season he took over, I think. And when he makes those big changes, it affects everything because, like, when is Broha? You say you want to see Broha, Pulisic, and who else was the other player? Sterling. When have they played together, bruv?
I know, but I think I think there's more balance to it though. When we played it last time,
that's a problem because when you haven't played with each other, you're not going to know the positions. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like you're going to be playing passes thinking that the player's going to make that run because that's the right run to make, but the player's got the other idea to make this run, and then you lose the ball up front, and then you put your midfield and defence under pressure. I wouldn't want to risk that. Whereas I think where you've played consistency, you've played Uber and Sterling, let them play and maybe mix it in with a Pulisic. So you've got. You've got at least you've got some familiarity, is what I'm saying, throughout the team, through the core of the team.
I get that, but then at the same time, from what I've seen with Aubameyang and Sterling in the team, even though I think their link-up play is actually quite decent when it wants to be, I wouldn't say like changing it for giving Brower a chance is a bad thing. I think we should. Like, I don't think they're in that great of form to be saying, "Oh, they have to play."
No, but I think Broha can be effective off the bench for a Champions League game. When you talk Premier League, yes, I understand, because he's got the experience of playing Premier League football with Southampton. But in the Champions League, much higher level.
Well, I agree. I mean, look, it wouldn't surprise me if Aubameyang and Sterling both start. I'd like to see Pulisic come in. It may not be him. We might see Havertz in there or whatever. This is the typical thing with Chelsea. We still don't know our best forward line. All we know is that it was meant to be Aubameyang and Sterling that start all the time. But even now, it's like, will he start them? Will he do something different? Potentially, yes, no. Blue Lounge says wholesale changes coming up in this match. I don't know. I think we need to win this, Mo. Big up to you as well. Nice to see you around as well. But I think, this has to be a strong team. And if it's a strong team, then you have to play the ones that you trust and have played well against Milan. And if that's the case, so Aubameyang, Sterling, Mount, 100% start. It's just who plays in the midfield with Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek, if Kovacic is fit. I don't know. We'll have to see. But Johnny, what's your score predictions, mate? If you're still there, I think you cut off. Johnny? Oh, he's cut out. He's come back in now. What's your score predictions, mate?
Sorry, geezer.
All right.
You there? You hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah. What's your score predictions? Yeah.
Score prediction. I'm going to go with. I'm going to go 2-0.
2-0. Okay. Money Mace
for
a goal.
I think Havertz plays. I think Havertz is going to score, and I think Mace will get an assist. But you might get a cheeky one from a Sterling.
Fair enough. And it's a must-win game for us. Like we said, there's only a point difference between Salzburg and Chelsea in this one. Still over 300 people here. Big up to yous. I've put the link in the chat. If you do want to come in and have your say, it's there. At the moment, no one's coming to the back yet. But, it's a must-win game, isn't it, really? And, who we got next in the league after this? We've got Brighton away. Yeah. That's going to be an interesting... that's going to be an interesting one anyway. But... we'll see what happens. Johnny, anything else you want to say? Because I know you said you were going to shoot anyway, didn't you? Before people start coming in. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just think like all the little princesses and the agenda merchants, you need to fucking hush your beaks, and you know what I mean, support your club and that, and stop with the stinky agendas on player hating and shit. Very simple. It's very, very simple.
Unfortunately, I don't think that's ever going to happen, mate, because we have a reactionary fan base.
Yeah, but you can be reactionary to a point, but where it starts disrespecting players that deliver at your club, and have delivered. There's a lot worse players in our squad that you could be hard on, but people don't want to do that. I don't know, maybe it's not the going narrative. They prefer to go for the players that get the most attention. But yeah, need to lay off it because it's piss poor, really. It's piss poor.
We will see, mate. We will see if that ever. Maybe when the philosophy kicks in and we bring in certain types of players and we see consistency, and we hopefully find ourselves back where we belong, which is at the top of the league, and hopefully dominate as well. Maybe we'll start seeing the fan base being more relaxed when it comes to players. But I don't think we will. I just think it runs, especially on Twitter. I think it just runs in people's bloods to always moan constantly about things.
It's funny because they slander the shit out of these players, call them shit, sell them, bench them, crucify them. You do, because obviously you feel like you've all got the right and the power to do that. But yet you'll say, I'm allowed to criticise. So what is it? You're going to criticise, you're going to fucking mud and completely dissect and slander your player. They don't go hand in hand, sunshines. Yeah? It's one or the other. So if you're slandering and doing all that, you're a hater. And if you're criticising, you ain't slandering because you're criticising. But don't mask the slander with criticism. It's piss poor, mate. It's like moving goalposts and that. Do you know what I mean? You're acting like gooners. Yeah, pretty much. Maybe you go and support Arsenal. I don't know. But this is the thing, yeah. Yeah. You got to respect and back the players, mate. Back the players. And that's it. Like all these players, certain players in our team, we all know that they're going to be moved on and they're not quite cutting it and they're not good enough. Yeah. And they're coming to an age where they need to be moved on and they affect key parts of how we play. And once that happens, we can move on forward and you'll see that the attacks ain't shit. Yeah. But I don't know, maybe it's the ball knowledge of all these lot that they don't understand transition in football, transitional phases, because that's a key thing. That's what Tuchel struggled with, trying to get out of this group of players, is the quick transitions. That's why you end up playing low blocks all the time. If you look at Manchester City, they have possession, but they're so quick in their transition that they catch the opposition off guard and they can hurt them. And even when they are being low blocked, they've got quality depth in the middle of the park who have the ability to play a needle pass or the right pass or get into positions and move quickly off the ball. That's the key. But no one wants to acknowledge that. So we'll come at Kai Havertz. We'll come at our biggest chance creator and best player for the last 2.5 seasons, Mason Mount. We'll come at Raheem Sterling because he's cost us 40 million. He's the highest goal scoring attacker. I think he's third on Pep's list with Messi and Pep and Aguero, and everyone's going, is he, he's not good enough at Chelsea. Well, fucking let's ask the question, why doesn't he get the fucking ball at the right time? How about that? How about instead of getting the ball when he's got 2 players on him every time? The same goes for Mason Mount or Kai Havertz. These are the issues. If you give Sterling the ball in the right dangerous positions where he's at, he will make things happen and he'll terrify defences and he'll either create or score. But where have we put him in those positions recently? We haven't. So we don't bench Sterling. We don't bench Mount. We don't bench players that are fucking important to our creativity and how we play. But yet you all want to drop them for players like Pulisic and Savić who don't even want to be at our football club. It astounds me. So these are my things anyway. Yeah. But big up Gem Geezer. Big up to everyone in the comments, and all you haters and all you wishy-washy merchants.
Yeah, big up, man. Make sure you check out Mineral FC as well. We've got Piers has confirmed that Pulisic and Gallagher starts apparently on Twitter already. So apparently that's
that team sheet merchant. Well, fair enough. Yeah, Pulisic, he's going to get a run now. Let's see what he can do. Hopefully, he can deliver and score a goal, create something. Hopefully that happens. And Gallagher, we'll see what happens with Gallagher, because Gallagher we know, but he needs to be bed in, Gallagher. He needs to be bed in. Yeah. But yeah, big up, Jim. Big up,
man. Big up, Johnny.
Yeah.
Take care, man.
Subscribe, all that jazz.
Cheers, man. Make sure you check out Minerals FC as well, guys. And we'll see Johnny soon again, man. Take care.
Big up, Geezer.
See you later, man. Take care. Up the chills.
Up the chills.
Here we go, guys. Welcome to Cali. Chelsea Database Deals is here as well. There is an announcement from Piers that from C345 Sam. To be fair, it actually has been quite spot on with team lineups of recent times. He's confirmed that Gallagher and Pulisic will both start against RB Salzburg tonight. I want to go to Chelsea Database on this first. What do you think about that?
I think it's expected. I think Paul did mention. Well, long time, by the way. Big up to you.
Big up, man. Nice to have you in.
Yeah, so I do remember Paul saying that he's going to use people that he didn't use on the weekend. So obviously, like Pulisic, who I thought deserved to start on the weekend. I think it deserves it here as well. So yeah, I like it. Not bad.
Cool. Winter Surface joined us as well. We'll come to him in a second. Callie, what you saying about Nick and Conor Gallagher, bro? You happy with that? Them both starting tonight?
Before I answer that, what was the options? There's Gallagher, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and who else?
Well, we don't know. I mean, Gallagher, what we've had is confirmed is that from what we're being told is that Gallagher and Pulisic are on the team lineup. That's what we've been told so far.
Oh, that's all we know? Yeah. What I mean is that all depends who they're playing with. So I can't really give a fair assessment until I see like who's playing in the midfield, who's obviously our attackers and so on and so forth. But Pulisic, obviously, Johnny said something that I have to agree with.
I like the way Johnny leaves and everyone comes in.
Wait, what? Wait,
Johnny was here. Yeah,
I just came back from the gym. I didn't even notice.
To be fair, though, you guys have been streaming for like an hour and a half already, so I don't blame them.
Nothing more to go through.
Harry's here as well. We've got Harry here as well. We've got everyone in now. So,
But yeah, mostly just so we can get through everybody. It just depends who's going to play with them. And honestly, we all know Pulisic. Like, I'm mixed between Pulisic, but it's clear as chalk and cheese. He deserves a chance. Like, he deserves a couple run of games before we finally ship him off in January or summer. So might as well give it to him now.
Javi's here. Oh, we've got Javi. He's been a while, man. I haven't seen him in a while. Big up to Javi. Dills, go on, bro. Tell us. Pulisic, Gallagher, you happy?
I want Mount to play in the midfield, but I think it will be probably Cover's gonna probably get a rest. I reckon for Brighton.
You reckon?
Yeah, I reckon Cover will get a rest for Brighton.
So who plays in the middle? Jorginho and Ruben for you then? Is it?
Yeah, Ruben. Yeah. It'll be Ruben. Definitely Ruben because he done the press conference, didn't
he?
Fez?
You know what scares me by what you just said? If Ruben and even Jorginho, as much as I dislike him, if one of them goes down with an injury, it's GG's, bro. It's a wrap.
Yeah, that's poor planning. That's the
Put
problem.
us in a coffin.
You guys are nervous.
So what? Who you gonna put in? Who you gonna put in the midfield for Brighton then? Because Brighton's gonna be a tougher task than Salzburg.
Remember the golden Remember the golden rule in football. Every game, your most current game is your hardest game. Never sit and look at Salzburg and say, this is the easy game. That's how you lose. You go into Brighton, lose that game too. Like that's terrible thinking. Yeah. We did that for Brentford and we got draws in Brentford and United.
It needs to be a strongish team tonight. We're a point ahead of Salzburg. You know, we win this, we have Zagreb next. You know, maybe we can then start rotating a lot more like what we saw at Brentford. But this game is an important game tonight and points are required. Winter Surfer, how you doing, bro?
All good, Jim. All good. How are you?
Yeah. I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I'm not bad. What's your thoughts on Pulisic and Gallagher in the team tonight, supposedly?
There was always going to be multiple changes. Remember, it's a very quick turnaround from Saturday's game because we played late on Saturday as well, remember? So it's a quick 3 days. I think Gallagher was always going to start. Remember, he didn't come on against United. People have been asking for Pulisic to start. I think it's about time. It'd be interesting if I think he's going to start Chilwell tonight instead of Cucurella because of what they've been saying about Cucurella losing all that weight, you know, for tonsillitis and everything like that. It can be interesting. I agree with what Callie said, man. I'm not focusing on the Brighton game. I want to win this game, and hopefully the other teams draw, and then we win the group outright, and then we can rotate the hell out of the Salzburg game. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at.
So why is Potter going on with so much changes?
Yeah, but
we
have to make the changes because of the games that we have coming up in the midfield.
But if this is priority though. I think we should be playing our strongest team.
Yeah, but we had to the last game and the game before as well.
Is that Lewis?
It's not exactly like our strongest team is performing to the highest order. I don't think we've played well since Milan away. You know, that's three games now at least. Yep. I mean, I keep saying it. I wouldn't start Aubameyang tonight or Sterling. That's my opinion. Yeah, I know like the whole thing of playing your strongest players, this, that, and the other, but I don't think they've been that good, to be honest, to honour or merit a place in the team. But I want to go to Harry quickly. I want to go to Harry quickly. Harry, how you doing, mate? I think.
I'm good, man.
Tell us about, obviously, Pulisic and Conor Gallagher. Do you think that's a good move from Potter? And what are you expecting in the front, in the forward line tonight as well?
I think with Pulisic, it's a bold one, considering he's struggled to get into the squad, and now arguably our biggest game in the maybe not against like the biggest side, but in a game that we can secure not only qualification but a first place position as well. It adds the pressure onto Pulisic a little bit to perform in a game where all the eyes are going to be on him to maybe provide the winning goal or the winning assist, or he can't just have a game where he just rides along. He needs to prove why what we've been missing with him and his attitude off the pitch and everything like that. It needs to be shown as to like, why are you in this? He's been given a big opportunity to play here. And so he needs to perform, which I think he will. I've been quite critical of him, not over the top, but I feel like he hasn't proven himself too much as of late. But in the most recent, what was the game that he played? Was it Brentford?
Was it Wolves? Or Brentford?
Wolves. Brentford. He came off. He came on as a sub, didn't he?
Yeah.
Against Brentford, and I felt like his impact on that was probably one of the best impacts I've seen him do in a while. And so I was hopeful that he would start against, or at least play against Manchester United, and be able to show what he was showing against Brentford. But it's good. We all know how much of a rotation Graham Potter likes to do all the time anyway. So I feel like we were always going to see some sort of rotation, but it's a strange one seeing Gallagher start in this game, I must say.
Yeah, 100%. I just want to quickly read this super chat before we go to Lewis. Naval, big up to you, man. Thanks for the donation. He says, not one player picked up that United game. Whole 11 crap. I'm expected it again. He took off the wrong players for a start. Will Burrow start? Nah. Why would he? Where's Potterball? At sideways, backwards. Yeah, poof. He sounds... he don't seem too happy. Calm down a bit. Yeah, I'd say
Jesus
calm down. We haven't lost yet under him as well, so this is give the guy a bit.
You'd think we had, by the way that people talk about him, and people call him boring because he didn't celebrate Jorginho's penalty goal, even though there's like 10 minutes left to play against a side that we always draw against. And then you think what Tuchel was like against Tottenham, and that didn't work out too well, albeit it was quite a high intensity game on the sideline, but still, you can't blame him not for celebrating.
100%.
I keep asking, like, what do Chelsea fans want, man? Like, you guys are doing the same thing to Potter that you did to Tuchel. That's what I'm saying. It's like
we want it. That's how we live. That's how we were brought up. Unfortunately, under the Roman era.
They want us to back the manager, be patient, but they want it all done in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And don't forget, you got to win the double. You got to win the Prem against Man City right now and the Champions League against Real Madrid. But
don't do that. iOS, come on, man, you're better than this. Lewis, what are you saying, Lewis? Tonight, big game. Obviously, Gallagher, Pulisic start. Obviously, we're expecting some changes. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Havertz to start, Lewis.
Win. Yeah, Havertz to start. I actually would rather he start this one. Just play well, please. Play convincingly. Regardless whoever starts, like, I could predict the lineup all I want to do. We're all going to get it wrong anyway. It's just about whether the team performs well. And if we can actually hold on to a lead as well once we get it. Because the biggest issue with Salzburg last time was we dominated them. We just didn't have that killer instinct and we allowed them back into the game. Kill the game off early. Allow us to be able to rotate in this game. And then we can rotate for Zagreb. And it'll be a lot better as a result of that.
100. Big up to Daniel in the chat. That super chat shows how impatient our fan base can be. With his super chat in here. Spot on, mate. Spot on.
The reason why they're all pissy about Potter is because Tuchel left. We all know what it is, and they want an immediate response from them.
But we do this with every manager, though. When Sarri left, people wanted Lampard to fail. When Lampard got sacked, they wanted Tuchel to fail. When Tuchel got sacked, they want Potter to fail. Like, it's a never-ending cycle.
But like
with
Tuchel and Potter, I think it's different because of the Champions League. Like, someone put a tweet out yesterday, and I think it sums up half of this fan base perfectly. A lot lot of the fans that we have now weren't around in 2012. They didn't see us win our first one.
Facts.
So now they've got big attachment, all of our players, all of the managers as well, and that's why they want to give them endless chances to try and make things work again, because they won us the Champions League. We have to trust them.
That? Nah.
Same old shit.
Fucking Brewster won a Champions League.
Anyway, Xavi, long time no speak, brother. How you been?
What up? What'd you say?
A long time no speak, brother. How you been?
Oh yeah. I'm good. Shit, man. Just trying to see what Potter's cooking. Being patient, you know.
Are you being patient though, or are you being skeptical? I've seen you a little bit on Twitter.
I'm on some of the things, like some of the blatant things, like Pulisic not starting after he's playing well. You know what I mean? Like blatant obvious things. I'm waiting to see, like when I'm saying I'm being patient, I'm waiting to see what he's doing to prove me like, yo, this is the guy. You know what I mean?
What's his donations for the watch along? Jesus Christ.
Brother man. Yo, does this look familiar to you?
Yo, my man's throwing out £10 notes on their fun shit. Jesus Christ!
I never got to get into a live with you. Someone told me
Harry,
you were
with
the news.
Harry, just say some weird stuff on the chat. You know.
No, it's fine. Yeah. What I'll do is, Harry, everyone watch along after. Go over to the watch along, yeah, and share some super chats, man. Share the love. Share the love is what I'd say. Naval says, I don't know. Potter needs to fix these lot quick. All this sideways back luck, mate. You need a clap round the head. Players, no joke. Go forward. No.
Potter can't get blamed for that, though. You can't blame Potter for what players have been doing for 4 fucking years. Excuse my French. Like, I'm tired. Like, we got to be objective. First of all, we need to be united, and I don't mean Manchester United. We need to unite as a fan base. Like, I don't know how we're starting Potter in, Potter out, and he's been in for less than 10 games. Please get a grip of yourselves. Please go pray. Do whatever you do. Like,
Potter out was trending.
Doesn't make
people don't genuinely mean it though. I'm sure. I as much as some people. I'm sure some people. But no, I know. But you'd be surprised actually. But there's got to be some people that genuinely feel like it's not for him. But the fact he hasn't lost a game is just ridiculous. What, we conceded 2 goals under him as well.
He's literally started the way Tuchel started in his first 10 games, yet we're slagging him off.
Yeah. I think the only real criticism of Potter for me, from what I've seen up to this point, not only do I feel that he made too many changes against Brentford, is that I do think he's late on his substitutions, like especially from the forward line. And
Tuchel was definitely like that as well, though. That used to get on my nerves with Tuchel. Is the very late that with any manager, not just Tuchel, but like just late subs was something we dealt
with.
We
have no one on bench. Like who could we bring on though? Who could we bring on from the bench?
But that's what I mean. What I mean is, Aubameyang and Sterling see about 80 minutes of every game, like pretty much every game that they start, and Burrow gets 10 minutes at the end. Like I'll give you an example: the Villa game away, right? We were 2-0 up after Mount scored, and it was like the 70th minute. He left Sterling on till the 80th minute and put Burrow on. Why not just give Burrow a 20-minute run out, right? Like, and then you look at the Man United game. He leaves again Aubameyang on till the 80th minute after they were stinking up the place. Let's be serious, they were not good that game. Yeah. He could have brought Burrow on 20 minutes before, but he gives him 10 minutes again. Like, I just feel he can give. We've got players on the bench that offer something different. And when it ain't working with 1 or 2 individuals, use your bench, use it, and just give us something else. That's what I'm saying. You know?
Yeah. The debate with Aubameyang maybe starting or Havertz is kind of a weird one for me because, I mean, I know it's only 2 goals and 1 assist for Aubameyang, but he's literally scored in back-to-back games. He's might not have been playing as well recently in the other games since then. But
he's only had 2 bad games.
He seems to be doing well in the Champions League.
The only reason why people on Havertz, the reason why people on Havertz, is because Havertz has been here for 2 years. 3 years. If Havertz wasn't here for 2 years, people wouldn't be on his neck. That's the only reason why.
I'd be a lot more sane if it wasn't him.
I agree.
Lewis got him good old mudding yesterday from.
I ain't gonna recover from that one, bro.
He got pretty angry there. That was I was sitting there.
Because I was hearing bullshit, man.
But Jem said some BS.
Man
but
sat
it-
there and said, "What do we as a club do for Kai Havertz?"
early on the stream.
Listen, I don't call him generational. Let's not do that. I don't sit there and go he's generational talent and this, that, and the other. That's not my words. You know, that's the words of Mr. Minerals himself. You know, that's what he feels. Yeah, my feeling with Kai Havertz is I don't think we were going to specifically see the best of him at Chelsea because in my eyes, I don't. Not only is he not consistent himself, but I don't think he's gonna be played in a specific role that I want to see him in, which will bring the best out of him. If he goes
it'd be like the typical players like your Salah and your De Bruyne that we've always been criticised for letting go, where they were shit for us or didn't play for us, and now they're good. It's because they fit in a better system.
I think
he's never going to work with. I hope he does, and hope we get the best out of him, and someone else doesn't. But
I beg to differ. De Bruyne, we all see that he was quality.
You didn't make the De Bruyne comparison, did you, my friend? Please.
no.
Listen. No. De Bruyne's a separate case. Salah, that's a fair argument. Salah was shit in the Marine.
But even
Havertz is better than De Bruyne was at the same age. What was that? Was Johnny was saying?
All right,
it's such a redundant comparison. I really don't get it.
To me, it was what do we as a club do for Kai Havertz? I flipped my fucking head when I heard that.
Because it's the other way.
Pay him millions of quid.
What do we do
Take
for
care
him?
of his every desire. Nah, man.
Do we look after him well enough? Do we feed him well?
Hang on, Lewis. The best bit was what's he doing for on the ball? Well, he's great off the ball movement. You know.
Oh, he's so weak on the ball.
That's his worst attribute. That's factually his worst attribute.
Lewis asked for on the ball stuff, and Johnny says he's great off the ball.
I keep telling you, ask anyone what he brings on the ball. They will talk about his movement, or they'll talk about the Champions League.
No, I wouldn't. This is where I disagree with you, and I will say I do actually think he's technically okay. Personally, I think in terms of his balance on the ball. The way he moves, I haven't seen it recently because I just think he's not there.
But you see how we're grasping at straws because all you said was balance.
Well, no, what I'm saying.
Let's be honest. Go
do ballet if you've got good balance.
No. I said he's technically good. I mean,
technically, no, he is technically good, but he's not fast. He's not strong enough or fast enough for the prem. That's what it is. Yeah. That's what it is. If he could hold on to the ball, I guarantee you his GNA skyrockets. His problem is too slow. And
some of these comments are hilarious.
Yeah, I know. I just What I don't want to do I had it yesterday, and I can't be that sitting there going on again about Kai Havertz.
No, trust me, I don't want it either. I'm tired of it.
The Blue Lounge donation says our fan base can't be united. It's not in our culture. Is that a true point? Or
yes,
absolutely not.
We'd make an argument. We'd be top of the league, 20 points clear, and we'd still have something to argue about. I promise you.
Before social media, if it wasn't for social media, I'd say we are far more united than.
I think it's
nowadays. It's like everyone's got an opinion, and most people on Twitter aren't even Chelsea fans anyway, or supporters.
They're player fans.
Yeah. It is like there's too many people just for one player.
Right.
And it's just it's not. It doesn't reflect the views of the majority of the fans or the supporters. If you're just supporting one player in particular, then what are you doing? I don't understand. Why'd you get involved?
I agree with that 100%.
Like nowadays, it's about the hives. It's about the player agendas. It's about I want to grandstand that my point was correct and your point was incorrect. When I was younger. It was just about the performance on the pitch and how many trophies did you win at the end of the season. It was that simple. It was literally that simple. There was no, this player, this, that. We had literally one matter, like coming off the bench, putting in like 20 GNAs to see, like, my head is gone. The standards at this football club, wallahi, help me.
If Twitter had been around after Didier Drogba's second season, everyone would have wanted him out.
There's a lot. That's the case with a lot of players. Like nobody would rate him.
Everyone wanted Didier Drogba out in his first season, didn't they? Yeah,
all of them are Jeremy. They wouldn't have rated those guys. But I also think the fact that it's kind of a new age era of like with these player hives. Like people made their personality off of it, like their Twitter following, like backing these players.
Yeah.
So they can't go against the grain, or their whole personality is gonna be ruined, or they can't say someone had a bad game, or they have to blame it on somebody
They do
else.
anything for clout.
How
They
many of the
mean
big
that-
Stan accounts are kids, by the way? So I feel like 'cause none of them ever show their face.
Yeah,
not even
beware
that
of
old,
those
but to me,
beware the
They
fake
they
football.
are like Clinical Kai. I don't actually know anything about the guy. I
but
see
he
him
just-
all over. Is he a kid or what? I don't
Yeah,
understand.
Don't
I
take
guarantee you he's under
I
25.
have to
I
mute
guarantee
them,
you he's under
honestly.
25.
Mute
You know what
them.
annoys me more than
For the
anything?
sake
I'll
of
be
your
honest with you.
Well, there's the Martial guy as well for United. I swear.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Trey.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Trey.
he's a walking troll, though. Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
guy wants to be the Chelsea. Though.
Whoa, whoa.
But every
You know
team
when you
has
guys
one,
bring
don't
up-
they?
You know when you bring up
What-
Kai Havertz?
Go on.
Do you know what it reminds me of from another club? It reminds me of Scantro at fucking United. You take Sancho out of United, hell, I'm going to be honest. If you had given Sancho to Chelsea, I guarantee you he'd probably perform better. Just like if you take Kai Havertz out of Chelsea and put him in City, I guarantee you Havertz performs better. It's just the system's not built for that player.
Yeah,
on top
but
of their deficiencies as a player as
I
a
could
whole.
play up top for City and get 15 a season. They'll
No,
just
you
feed
can't.
That system.
You know what annoys me more?
Lewis, throw me up there. Pay me 80
He went
G's
to
a week.
City
I'm
on
bagging
the bench.
goals, man.
He ain't benching anyone at City, bro. He ain't starting.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what annoys me more than anything?
Oh,
This
shit.
is the thing that annoys me more than anything with people in the chat. And I ignore it a lot of the time, but I hate it when someone says something that I haven't said yet. But when someone says to me that I wanted to give Havertz another season, that is the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard in my life, because I've never once sat here and said, I want Kai Havertz to stay for another season. I've said we give him this season. That's what I've said. So
We slaughtered Timo.
I mean, when you quote me, please
And
quote
rightfully
me
so,
properly.
rightfully
I hate
so.
when people
We
quote me
slaughtered
and they don't
Timo in
quote
2
me
years.
properly. That
Even
annoys me.
last season, we were saying give him one more season and then we'll make a decision on that. So yeah,
And I am still going to do that. I ain't going to sit there and slander him and say he's shit. And I'm not doing that. I'm just
same.
A bit of no. I'm not. And I'm yeah, same. Fuck off. Anyway, you know,
Even if he
United
leaves,
Trey,
though, like, I'm not going to
United
slander him.
United Trey, that's the other one, isn't it? The other guy with the Martial picture. That's it. Yeah. I remember you talking about. Big up to Couch in the chat as well. Havertz to City, yes, but there's no way Sancho is performing for us. Is what Josh96 is saying there. We've got AJ in. AJ, what you saying, man?
Yo, what up, John? What up, guys? How y'all doing?
Respect to you, brother.
Big day, man. Big day. That's all I got to say, really. Just gotta handle business.
Pulisic and Conor Gallagher are starting, mate, from what we're being told. How do you feel about that?
I wanted Pulisic to start the last maybe 2 games, so I'm cool with that. I'm still hot and cold on Gallagher, but I mean, he scored a game winner, so let's give him a chance,
Yeah,
In his right position, by the way.
In his right position. Yeah, I mean, I do agree with Harry when he says like Pulisic has to take his chances. Like he can't just come in and have a half-average game and then think he's going to start. Like he has to take his chance. He has to offer us something that we've been missing in the last couple of games.
It's more specifically when it seems like he gets all this the press of him, like he's either unhappy or he's not getting enough game time, and then he finds the times when he does get game time, very rarely he'll actually like deliver and perform, and then he'll go back to being benched all the time, and then the cycle just continues. And I'm just sick at this point. It's just getting a bit long with the whole like Pulisic's upset, writes a book, slags everyone off, and then it's just getting a bit annoying. He is just so like different to it just feels like it just seems like entitlement at this point. And like my point being, like, what has he done to really prove that he earns like a first team place every single game?
Scored a counter goal against Real Madrid apparently, and that's
we know he is good. It's like most of the players, though. We know that a lot of them are good. Havertz is good. Pulisic is good. But it's the main thing. The fundamental problem with all the players is that like the fundamental issue is that it's the consistency for every player. Not every player, but like the majority of the players. It's so frustrating watching them when you know that they can be as good as they can and they're just inconsistent. That's all.
No, but what you're saying about the attackers, this is why I want them to do by summer. Supposedly, word on the street is one midfielder, Alvarez in January, summer. I don't even need to tell you who we're going for. When we get those two guys in, then I want to see every attacker, everyone, Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, whoever's still at the club. That's when I'm going to officially judge them. Because I want to see, because remember, there's two sides of the fan base. One that says the midfield is the source of all our problems, and the other side that says you guys don't know ball. So I want to see if we fix that midfield, do our attackers perform better? My answer will be yes. But we have to wait and see, obviously, and it depends on if we get the proper fits for the club. But I think personally, between attackers being out of form and having shit games, I think our midfield is meaty as far as offensively, offensive chance creation from the midfield, offensive shots from the midfield from outside the box, and open play chances from the midfield. If you disagree, please let me know.
I think with back to Pulisic though, even if he doesn't play well tonight, I think it's harsh to bench him. He needs a run. Given other guys in this squad a run to play themselves into form, and it hasn't worked. Do you know what I mean? He needs a 5-game run.
If it doesn't work for him, this season, is it?
Right?
Is he? No, what I'm saying is, no. If let's say we give him a run, maybe let's even say if we don't give him a run, vice versa. Do you think this is his last season?
He'll want to go.
Yeah,
he will.
I think he'll go. I think he'll go. I think he will go.
If we don't give him
I think he will go. I think he will go because he's been given 3 years, 2 years. He's been at the club for long now. Now this is his last chance.
I think he'll ask for if we don't give him a run, I think he'll ask for a transfer request during the World Cup when he's away from us.
Really?
I agree.
Yeah, I don't think he'll come back.
Well, maybe a loan
especially if he has a mad one as well in the World Cup.
Yeah, especially.
Or maybe a loan spell because he did ask for that and he was going to ask for a 1 year extension.
He'll ask to move away with us, a loan or a transfer, but I think he'll do it during the World Cup because then he's away from Chelsea. He's in the comfort of the US national team.
He's in the same boat.
He's such an interesting conundrum.
Him and Kai are both in that period where whenever, but it's kind of different reasons. But because Kai has gotten his chance and Pulisic, he's gotten his chance, but he hasn't been given that Kai chance. Like Kai has been given chance.
To be fair, when Pulisic got his chance, the problem with Pulisic, as we all know, is his legs are made of breadsticks, and he kept going down injured when he was on insane form. Every time he would catch any type of form. I remember there was the time after the City game where he countered back when it was during COVID, and he countered the whole team and then scored that goal. And people were like, it's a world-class goal. Pulisic has a chance to be world-class. I was like, well, that's a little too far. But the thing about it is, they're sort of right about if you can just get this man to stay healthy, give him a run of games, and then let's see what Pulisic does. And I mean, obviously by running games, I mean starting at least 5 games. If he flops or folds there, let him go.
But if you actually look at his injury record since that COVID thing, it's not bad. It's just that he's not been played. That's the thing. So he's not even.
No. I hear you.
That's what I mean.
I hear you.
That's what I mean. If we're winning as a fan base to give certain other players a run in a team of even 8 or 9 games and nothing happens,
They got flawless.
We should at least. Oh, this guy in here again. Bloody. We should at least give Pulisic a run. I'm just asking for 5 games, not even asking for 10 or something like that.
Yeah, I agree. I think there has to be some sort of run for Christian Pulisic in the team. It's not like even the Sterlings are even playing that great that he can't get in the team. I think you got to test the waters and see if one of them can be consistent. At least offer something that may maybe benefit us in the forward line a lot more. Because at the moment, I still think the whole forward line. It just I don't know. It don't feel right, does it? But we know that there's more.
Are you not worried about Aubameyang?
No, because with Aubameyang, I'll tell you with Aubameyang. With Aubameyang, providing you're creating for him, I think he will put 9 times out of 10 put the ball in the back of the net. It's just creating for him. If you don't do that, what is it that you're asking for him? Because he's not. He's not.
We need to get Aubameyang 4 or 5 chances a game.
You guys, I'm gonna bounce anyway, but take care. Love it. Big up.
Respect to you, Lewis.
If we get Aubameyang 5 chances a game, or he's gonna score 1 or 2 goals.
That's what I want. That's what it should be on. Just quickly, Daniel says, "I've wanted Havertz gone for a long time now. How many chances does he need?" Big up to Daniel for the donation on that. Big up to obviously Flawless is in the house as well as his FU Surfer. Couch, what you saying, bro? How you been?
Yo, man, what's up, fellas? It's been a minute, man. Can't lie, I'm still on the road.
Oh my God, Couch. What's good, man?
Jump in and say, yo. The only thing I wanted to really touch on this whole Kai thing is like, if you look at his Chelsea career, can we say that there's been any sort of growth in his game, like anywhere?
No, in terms of what consistency.
No, just growth. Where does he improve his game?
Yes.
No.
I'll say there's growth, but very little growth. I can say there's very little growth.
Where has he improved his game in 3 years?
I got you. The same thing everybody says. Remember that Champions League campaign?
You don't think his shooting's improved though?
I feel like he actually regressed.
You don't think his shooting's improved though? You don't think his shooting's improved though?
No.
Absolutely not. I'm gonna be honest with you. The only thing I've seen improve for Havertz is his heading ability. I'm being dead serious. His aerial ability has improved. That's about it.
I don't even think he improved. I think it's been the same. I think he regressed honestly this season.
Yeah,
regressed is harsh. Regressed is harsh. But I do hear what you're saying. And I understand why.
He's just not informed for me. That is it. That's the word for me.
Yeah.
I feel like
No different.
all Havertz needs to do is just hit the gym.
He just doesn't affect the game.
He's always been so weak.
That is facts.
Havertz's biggest issue, even going back to Leverkusen, is that he's just so inconsistent. Even at Leverkusen, his first half of the season, he was gone. He was only in the second half of the season that he used to come alive, which is just very weird. You know, I think something he needs to really work on. You know, and he's doing it at Chelsea as well, and that's the problem, isn't it? Really, he's just not consistent, and he's getting game time. He's given the opportunities to obviously get involved. He's just not being as effective as maybe many people want to see of him. You know, that's the problem.
He just
doesn't work hard
patching
in the off season for me. Like he hasn't. His comeback looked exactly the same year after year. He's not got any stronger. And to play in the league, in this league, you need to put some girth on you, man. You can't, especially a guy that doesn't have the. I don't even think he has the best balance. He goes over so easily. Like anyone that like.
Well, Mount used to, didn't he? Mount used to, and he's put on a bit.
Mount looks bigger. Mount looks bigger since his like his.
But the thing is, he's not small though. Like, there's no excuse for like. Yes, he's like scrawny, but Kai is very tall. Like, there's no excuse for him to be half the time getting thrown to the floor, like and then just falling over to the floor like it's a fucking drama magazine. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Jem, you've been really rude.
Oh no, apparently. Maverick, you're the one that said something that I didn't say. All I said was I don't like it when people say things that I didn't say. That's all. So yeah, big up to you. Man.
I can tell some of these dudes are kids. Some of these people are kids, no doubt.
Yeah. Sorry, give me a hug, man.
Wait. I got you, Jem. Hey, we're sorry we hurt your feelings, my guy. Here's a hug from Cali King with all the love.
That was somebody's mom who wrote that for them, for sure.
Nah. Jem, it's football talk. No need to have an attitude towards me. Is that your girl? But anyway, what you call it? That's another thing. That's another thing in the community that we need to address. You can't have. It's hard to have football debates without like people taking it personal. Like that, they're like, that's your son or your kid. Like you having debates and people start getting personal and insulting you. Like
personal, and then when you react, it's like it's your fault. Like just keep it to footy. Don't bring my personal life into it. You're not gonna like it.
It's not even that. People get so defensive.
Yeah, they are
so defensive of their opinion. It's just like none of us actually know. You know, we don't have 100%.
That's the thing, Cal. Do you know what drives me mad about Twitter? Twitter's the thing that drives me mad.
My God.
When you have a difference of opinion with someone, some people nearly pull their hair out because they think they're so right. It's like they can't listen to the other side. It's like, no, that's it, it's done, and it's like. No, the thing with football is it is.
You don't have full knowledge.
It's just none of us know. We're just assuming what we think's best for our football club, whether he plays, whether he don't, whether this, whether that.
And also, two things can be true at the same time.
Two things can be true at the same time. Yeah.
Double facts. And
guys,
it's not just football though; it's life, man.
I want to
people like this with life.
I know Harry's going on in about an hour, and obviously I
got to go in a sec.
So let's get score predictions. Obviously, we've got the watch along after in Chelsea Fan TV, which Harry's hosted. Make sure that you over 200 Chelsea Fan TV people with. Make sure you go over to the watch along for 5:15, isn't it, Harry? I think.
5:15. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Zagreb, we lost away. We drew with Salzburg at home, right?
1 second, Caddy. Harry, what's your score prediction?
Hopefully not another fucking draw, that's for sure. But I think 2-1. I think 2-1. To Chelsea.
Good. That's going to ask that.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, 2-1. That's what Harry predicts. Deals, what you saying, mate?
2-0 Chelsea.
Confident. Clean sheet.
Yeah,
I like that.
confident. Very confident. I think Thiago Silva's going to pickpocket Sesko.
Yeah, I can see that.
I thought he was injured.
Chelsea database.
I'm going to go for 1-0. Chilwell to score.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Oh, well, that's a call.
Money Mason scoring out there today still.
Manx as well. Caddy, what you saying?
2-1, except if we start Gallagher and Jorginho on a pivot. Then it's going to be a draw.
So if Gallagher and Jorginho start, we're drawing, yeah? Is that you're saying?
No. If they start in the pivot, yes, we're drawing. If not, 2-1 to the Chelsea.
Okay. Winter server?
Very tentative, boring 1-0 to Chelsea. Get our ass out of there and then move on.
Is that Kai Havertz?
Do you know what? I'm not even ribbing. I don't care. I want Kai Havertz.
Yeah, I know you do.
To prove us. You know what I mean?
It's what we've wanted for so long.
Exactly.
Like, you can say like he's inconsistent. We all want him to fucking play well. He plays for our club.
Yeah, I know.
Jem, you know my stance on.
I want him to score 10 goals in a row.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Couch.
A lot of people have a lot of things to prove this game. I think we're going to come out the gates flying. There's a lot of guys that need to prove that they can play for this club.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say a 3-0. And I don't have a goal scorer, but I'm going to say a 3-0. I think we're going to come out and play well.
Yeah, I'll call it for you. Kai Havertz. AJ, what are you saying?
I'm in a similar boat to Couch. I was gonna say we're gonna give up a goal though, but I wanna have some sort of defensive record. So let's just keep it at 2-0.
Wicked. Xavi.
I'm going 1-1.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey. I did say it depends on the lineup.
Yeah, you do. If we draw, is it the end of the world in terms of position? I mean, if Milan win, Chelsea draw, still top. So we're still in control, right?
Let's just make it as easy for ourselves as possible and just get the win though.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an easy one though. Salzburg, they're going to be coming out wanting to win. They've drawn so many games lately as well.
Do we ever make it easy for ourselves?
No,
exactly.
Never.
The last time we said this, we ended up second in the group. Who did we play in the quarterfinals? The rest is history. So make sure you top the group, because I'm not trying to see Real Madrid in the round of 16. I'm not.
I'm being honest with y'all.
I
think it's going to be a 3-1. That's what Moses said here. I'm going to go over 3-1 I I've got a feeling that I think he's going to make some changes. I think he's going to make some goodbye forever.
Are we going to see Zakaria?
Don't go.
Hey, yo. Are you breaking up, bro?
Don't break up with me over this, please.
Yo, wait.
Don't be mad.
This man said goodbye forever. Oh, I'm so hurt, Jem. Your channel's gonna lose subscribers. Oh.
Anyway, guys, make sure we're smashing the likes. Still over 200 people on Chelsea Fan TV as well. Big ups every single one of you guys. And GNA TV, make sure you guys are smashing the likes over there as well. Like I said, Harry's doing the watch
along. Smash the likes, people.
So make sure you guys go over there for the watch along at 5:15 as well, which is in about an hour's time. Hopefully Chelsea win the game. We're getting team lineup in about half hour's time as well, which I'm sure Harry will be sharing over on the watch along. So make sure you go over there. And big up to everyone, man. Hopefully we win. Hopefully it's a nice win.
Big up, Jem.
And big up to Deals. Yeah, big up to you, Deals, man. Nice to see you here, man. It's been a while. And Chelsea Database, Harry, thanks for coming on. Lewis, Kelly, Winter Surfer, Couch, AJ, Xavi. Yeah. Big up to every single one of you guys, man. Take care, and we'll see you again very, very soon. Peace out. Remember, Ben Jacobs. Ben Jacobs Thursday. Ben Jacobs Thursday. Peace out.